How's that? Yes, there we go. I, and I had all these epiphanies. Thank you, Jeffers. Thank you so much for letting me know. I had epiphanies and I made this and nobody heard it. No. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we have 60, 68. And then we have 25. 25 looks like what? So we have a 2, 20, and then 5. Right. So when we're looking, we have 20 and then we have 5. Hello, VC. What did I miss? I made it to another live stream. Nothing. Nothing. We're talking about what? We're talking about making a number, right? So we're doing 86. So remember how to do 87. We're doing 87. So we do 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 5, 6, 7. So on our abacus, we do 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 5, 6, 7. This is my tens. This is my ones. Hello, Cookie. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. We want to do 70. 70 is 5, 6, 7. So this is my tens. When I have my number, I have 70, 7, 0. And then I take me to here. So now I have 83. To make 83, I do 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice what I'm doing is I'm coloring in I'm coloring in the top bead. So we have the top bead is 5. We're adding all the lower beads, and then it takes me to this number here. Because I have this number, I have 71. I have 70, 5, 6, 7, and then I have 1. So I have 71. So 71. I have my tens and I have my ones. Takes me to this number over here, and I look at 61. 61 goes here, so I go 61. So I have 5, 6, and then 1. And then what do I do? Oh, can't see that. Oh, I see. And then what do we have? We have 89. There we go. 89. What does 89 look like? Hello. Are we going to practice? Yes, there is going to be addition and subtraction tonight. I usually get to addition and subtraction. Earlier today we did multiplication, but we're going to go to, usually we go into addition and subtraction. Yeah. So we do 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's what 89 looks like. And then we have 17. We have 17, 1 and then 7. So we have 1 and then 7, 5, 6, 7. And then our final answer is 37. Our 37 looks like this. We have 30, we have 7. So we have 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 7. 5, 6, 7. That's it. So this is my maze. This is my reverse maze, and we're just about done. We're at the G and the G. Yeah. Jeffers, was there any specific thing you were looking at for the adding and the subtraction? I've got it. I was able to do the 2 steps. What are you looking for specifically? Anything special? So then what's the next one? The next one is this one. We're going to do this one. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Okay, cool. Okay. We're going to do this one, and it's now your turn to let me know what number this is. So I'm going to color it in. I have my ones. I have my tens and my ones. I'm getting better at it. Oh yeah, 2-step. Okay, cool. 2-step. We'll do 2-step. I got the mazes for 2-step. So that would be good. Okay, so let's do this, and then we'll finish off with some 2-steps. And I got some really nice ones. Again, it's a maze based. 14. Thank you. 14. You're right. Thank you. 1 and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what 14 looks like. 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our tens and our ones. Notice that we're only touching the horizontal bar. These are the 2 columns that are touching the horizontal bar. That's what's being counted. So anything that's not touching is not being counted. So it takes us to 14, and my answer is over here. So now my question is what? What number do I have? Thank you, Jeffers. When I color it in, I'm going to color in these two beads. What number? Thank you, Jeffers. You're very quick. Thank you, Seduction. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you doing? Thank you, Angela. Thank you, VC. Yes, we're going to do 2. And we're going to go up to there. And then we have this number. We have our 10s, and then we have our 1s. Haha, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. AJ, I'm not sure if you know that this is a children only. All right. So, what are we going to do? We're going to do 5, 6, 7, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you, VC. Thank you, Seduction. Angela, 23, 23, 23. So we have 70, and then we have 8. 23 looks like this without the 5. So this is what 23 looks like. Does that make sense? So when we're doing, we have to remember that we add the 5 to the top. We have the top bead and the 5. So 5 and 5. So that's 7, 5, 6, 7, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what 78 looks like. 78 takes me to this. And then we have this number. This is an easy number. We have our 10s and we have our 1s. So we have our 10s and we have our 1s. What number do we think that is? Thank you, Andrew, for the heart me. Thank you for checking in. How are we doing? What number do we have? This is almost Lavender. 12 looks like this. Thank you, Seduction. 22 looks like that. So 12, right? 1, but 2, it's 22. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Seduction. Thank you, Lavender. So it takes me to 22, and now I'm over here. So we have our 10s, and we have our 1s. Notice we have a 0 over here. So what number do we think that is? I'm going to color it in. I got to color it in. I'm very excited for my next books. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you, Cookie. So then we have what? Thank you, Jeffers. We over here, and then we have this number. What number do we think this is? Thank you, Lavender. Hello, Adreline. Adreline. So when we're doing here, we want to make sure, I'm sorry, Jeffers, hold on. When we want to do here, we want to make sure that we have our 0. So this is our 0 right here. So we have to make sure that when we're looking, we have our 10s and our 1s. Yeah, we have to pay attention to this dot. Remember there's a dot right here? This is my 1s place. So when I have my columns, I have my 1s and my 10s. So when we're looking, we have 1. Who took the bite out of the green sheet? My dog. My dog ate my homework. So we have our 10s and we have our 1s. So we have our 10s, 1, 2, 3, and then we have our 1s, 1, 2, 3. So what number do we have? Oh, yeah, we said 33. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Kai. And thank you, Cookie, and thank you, Jeffers. Yes, 33. And then we have this number. So we have our 10s and we have our 1s. What number do we have? Almost, Angela. That was 33. Maybe this will help. Maybe that will help. So now we have this number. 66 looks like this. 60, 5, 6, 5, 6. 33 is what we had. 30 and then 3. Now we have our 10s. So this is our 10s, and then here is our 1s. What number do you think we have? What number is this? Thank you, Maid. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you, Adreline. And Angela. Did that make sense? So if we look at just this, do you see what number it is? We're going to go to our next one. Yeah, okay, good. So we have 96. 96 takes me to here, and now we have this number. So maybe it's beneficial to have the column isolator. So we have our 10s, so we have this number, and then we have our 1s. Thank you, Jeffers. So we have our 10s, and we have our 1s. Thank you, VC. Yes, thank you. Cookie, thank you, Cookie. So we have 82, and it takes me to over here. Now we have what number? So if I have my 10s, and now I have my 1s. When we're looking, we want to pay attention to the top beads which is this is the tens, and then this is the ones. Thank you, Jeffers. 76. Thank you, Cookie. So 76 takes me to this one over here. Thank you, Adeline. And then we have our number. So don't forget, because there's no beads touching the horizontal bar, that will be 0. So this is my ones. When I have it, I'm going to color it in. And we have our 5, 6, 7, 8. Good evening, Char. How are you doing? Thank you, Adeline. Oh, good. It made sense, right? Which book is this again? This one is my 2-digit abacus. 2-digit puzzles. There's a 3-digit one too in the other place. I haven't stocked yet. Hi, my name is Lynette. I have some books on Amazon. I also have books on TikTok Shop. And if you want to do a search, my name is Lynette. Hello, hello. I'm doing very well. I'm very excited. I don't know if I'll be able to publish a book this week. So, but I'm excited because I think I figured out a new line of a new series. I'm very excited for my new series. Oh, okay, right. So we had 8 and it takes me up to here. So this is 8 and then we have this one. Okay, so we have our tens. We have our tens and we have our 9. We have our tens and our ones. So we have this and then we have this. What number do we think? 69. Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Jeffers. Thank you, Adeline. Good, good, good. Right? And then it takes me across. And now we have the answer to the universe. Thank you, Angela. Yes, what is the answer to the universe? 42. Thank you, Jeffers. It is 40. It is 2. So what did we do? We did 42. Does it matter where the abacus creates the 2 beats in the numbers? You know, it doesn't really matter, but I would use these labels. These are my ones labels. So you could choose this one, and we could go through we could go through everything over here. So it'd be 40, it'd be 2. So if you notice, there's two labels, either one here or one here. If I choose this one over here,
Pokemon, I choose you!
you'll notice that I have my ones, my tens, but there's no more room for hundreds. If I choose this one over here,
Okay, Charizard, I choose you!
I move everything over, and that's where we've been, right? We've been doing more of the numbers over here. So then I have my ones, my tens. Now I can do hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. And then obviously, just so you know that if I have my ones, it doesn't matter which one. If I have my ones here, then all of this would be my decimal. If I had my ones over here, then these 2 would be my decimal. Now it's kind of nice to have these 2 as my decimal because it's like money. It's like change. And so, yeah, if you got more space for larger numbers, exactly. So this one here is a 7-column abacus. This one is a 13-column abacus, and size matters. So the bigger the number, the larger the abacus, right? And so now we can actually look at it. If I choose this one to be my ones, then I have my ones, my thousands, my millions, my billions, and my trillions. So it all depends on what number you're trying to track. You could track to the millions, or you can track to the trillions. It all depends on where you want to situate the ones. That's a very good question. Thank you, Adeline. But yeah, right? Does that make sense? And so, if you really want to track the national debt, you could get a 23-column abacus, but I don't sell this. This has been with me since I started my abacus journey, and I've been teaching abacus for 20 years. I didn't learn abacus when I was a kid, and so this is made out of bamboo. However, these ones are made out of plastic. It works exactly the same. It works exactly the same, whether the big numbers or the small numbers. The only thing is when you get into bigger numbers, you will have to graduate from the smaller ones, just because there's not enough room to capture everything that you need to do. Because essentially, you can do multiplication and division on the abacus, but it gets a little tougher because there's only 7 columns. I do recommend for older people. No, I do recommend that when we start going into multiplication division, that you start going into a 13-column abacus, just because the amount of columns that we need when we start doing multiplication and division. Thank you, guys. Thank you. that's very nice of you guys. Yeah, and so that's the one thing about understanding like the amount of beads, and it's still all about placement. It doesn't matter what the colors are. It doesn't matter that this is blue, this is green, this is yellow. No, what matters is the positioning of the beads. So if you look, I do 5, this is 5. I do 6, this is 6. So when I line it up, they look exactly the same, right? Just the difference of the beads. So we do 7, this is 7. This is 8, this is 8. This is 9, this is 9. And again, what I did is I used this specific dot as my ones indicator. So then I have all these columns to choose from. When we're looking, also understand that you want to use your left hand to stabilize the abacus. The reason why is because it's very easy to move. So if you bump it, or if you're on an angle when you're like doing this, then your answers will be wrong because it's very easy to move. See how that moves? And that's the one thing is like you want to use your left hand to stabilize. Usually, even if you're left-handed, you still want to use your left hand to stabilize it because they say that we do calculations on the left brain. Right, and we do visual and we do art on the right brain. And the way the hands are connected, the left hand is connected to the the right hand is connected to the left brain, and the right brain is connected to the left hand. So, touch the numbers of the bar, counting the 5. Yes, exactly. So the top bead will always be 5 no matter what. So when we're looking, this is not 10. This is 55 because it's a 5 and a 5. This is 10. 10 is what? 1, 0. 1, 0. That's what 10 is. Very interesting, the process of solving problems with these. Yeah, it's really quite cool to solve the problems with these. And so what we do in Abacus is we only do adding, subtracting, multiplication, and division. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to teach you how we do adding and subtracting because it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. I'm telling you. If you guys can keep your mind open.
Now, open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
If you can keep your mind open, I will tell you the greatest thing next to sliced bread. I can tell you that this is a forgotten tool. And I can explain to you how to use the forgotten tool. I gotta put down some quotes. I got some quotes. Okay. So we're going to continue on, and I'm going to use this one over here. What did we do? Oh, we already finished this one. So what's next? What we're going to do is we're going to understand to move the beads. That's the next thing we're going to do. So we already figured out that we're going to use our left hand to stabilize it. It's a guideline. It's one of those things. Like, I know some of the kids do this, and I'm like, I'm not too much of a stickler. It's just one of those things that they said that just use your right hand, but it's up to you. We're going to bump the beads. Oh, okay. And so that's the other thing is you don't want to flick. Because if you flick, then you're going to mess up your answer. You want to do it with intention.
And flick. Oh, flick too hard, damn it!
So that's what happens when you flick. So when we're using the abacus, we want to move the beads with intention. Every bead will be moved with your fingers, not flicking just because we're doing anything, right? So what we want to do is we want to make sure we move our beads with intention. And that's the other thing is if you'll notice that the beads of the beads, right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to use the edge of the beads, and we're going to be happy. We're going to be happy when we do abacus. We're going to be happy when we do math, right? WWE, we're going to be happy when we do it. And don't be aggressive, because if you're aggressive, again, you're going to mess up your answers. Just saying. I'm just saying. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Does anybody have any questions? I know I talk fast, so please, if you have any questions or if I go too fast, let me know and I will slow down. Slowing down is different than not opening your mind.
Now, open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Thank you, Gary. I'm hoping that I'm so happy that you like this. I'm so happy that you love it. Thank you again. Thank you, Alicia. Oh, thank you so much. And it's a great pace. And it's funny, I haven't had any coffee today. So, it is late. It is a while. It's a little bit. Okay, so what are we doing? What we're going to do is we're going to understand how to move the beads. To move the beads is not very difficult, but I want to do it because it's one of those things that we need to understand. You know why? It's just like putting on your jacket and taking your jacket off. Who knows where that came from? Put your jacket on, take your jacket off, and just do it again. It's like tying your shoes. Tie your shoes, untie your shoes. What's the other one that he does? It's wax on, wax off. Paint the fence up, paint the fence down. Who knows where that came from? So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to move the beads. So in Abacus, this is my preschool book. This preschool book is available in my TikTok shop. What I did here was I was supposed to be for kids from 3, 4, and 5. Those kids, thank you, Adeline. Yes, Karate Kid. And we already did the beginning part, which was about understanding how to read the beads. We know how to do 10, right? We did 10. So 10 was a 1 and a 0. 11 is 1 and 1. 12 is 1 and 2. So we've done with that. Now what we're going to do is, and we already know, we know how to count forward. We know how to count backwards. We know what numbers are bigger. We know what numbers are smaller. What we're going to do is we're going to start adding. Now the difference between Abacus world and mainstream is that Abacus focuses on the add-in. The add-in is the number or the second number that we go into. Either we add it or we subtract it. We need to understand the thing that we're doing, right? So here's my question is 5. Now, if you notice the way I have it set up is I have the +1. When I add the 1, my question is, can I add the 1? I'm not focusing on how do you make a 7. What I want to do is, can I add the 1? Can we do it? Yes, we can. Thank you guys so much for liking the live. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for the follows, Lavender and JWX. Thank you so much. So what are we going to do? I want to add the 1. My final answer is 6. Again, what we're doing is we're understanding when I move the bead. So it doesn't matter which bead I'm moving. I just want to move the 1 bead. This is what 1 looks like. I'm just adding 1. And it's the same thing with the 2. When I add 2, I have my abacus, and I'm going to put in 5. What I want to do is I want to add the 2. When we add the 2, it's these 2 beads. It doesn't matter which 2 beads. If I have 6, I want to add these 2 beads. If I have 7, 5, 6, 7, I want to add these 2 beads. So the idea is understanding that I'm moving the quantity of beads. I'm not moving anything else, right? I'm not moving that these 2. So if I had this, I'm not moving everything. I'm moving just 2 beads. It doesn't matter which 2 beads. So these beads are not specifically labeled. We need to understand that this is the value, because it's the value of 1. It doesn't matter which one we're using. So then that was 2, and now we're at 3. So again, 3, if we have the 5, I'm sorry, let's do the next one. So here in the Abacus world, we do easy to see, right? We do add the 5, we add the 3. My final answer is 8. Now in mainstream, in mainstream they do dots, and the problem with the dots is you're counting up, but 2, the human eye can't see more than 5, so it's very difficult to see. So what do we do? And I don't know if you know this, but what we do is we break it up into two separate groups. So we know that this is 4 and this is 4, so we know that this is all 8. You could do it in the tally, or you could use the abacus. Because why? If you use the tally, it is only single digit. But what if we want to do 80? And so if we did 80, we do 5 and we do 3. But notice I'm in the tens column. So I have an 8 and a 0. But then if you were to do tally marks, then you have to do all these tally marks all the way up to 80. The answer is 8. Thank you, Damien. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do is we're understanding how to move the beads. When we add the 5, we're adding the 3. And then it doesn't matter where we are on the abacus. So what's the next one is 4. 4 is not too difficult because it's the whole number. So when we're adding the 5 and want to add the 4, what we're doing is we add all the 4 beads and then we subtract the 4 beads. Notice when I add, I go to the horizontal bar. When I subtract, I move away from the horizontal bar. So that's what the difference is in mainstream math. They give out different strategies to do a subtraction, whereas in abacus is you know how to add, just do the reverse. You know how to put your jacket on, you'll know how to take your jacket off. There's not another way to take your jacket off. So I'm not sure why mainstream has all these other separate strategies when you subtract as opposed to adding. That's not something that I am here to discuss. I'm just here to talk about how to move it on the abacus. So here again, what I'm doing is I'm understanding, can we take away the 1? Again, the idea is to remove the 1. So if I have the 2, I want to take away the 1, and that's what I'm doing. So my final answer is 1. And it's again with the 2. So I have my subtracted, I have 3, I add the 3 on my abacus, I'm taking away the 2. I take away these 2. And that's it. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions? If I have 4, I'm going to take away 3. Questions. We're just going to continuing on to learning how to move the beads, because what happens when we add the 5, again, adding the 5 is the top bead. Thank you, Adeline. 10 minus 1. Almost. We're not there quite yet. We are going to get to it in a little bit. But the first thing I want to do is understand how to move the beads. Because what you're showing me is a formula, and the formula happens when we usually do adding of the 10 or making of the 10. That's what it is, making of the 10. So what we're doing is we're adding the 5. We go to the horizontal bar, or we subtract. We take away from the horizontal bar. 6 looks very similar, and with 7, right? 6 and 7. 5, 6, 7, we bring it together at the same time. If I had 1, I'm going to add 7, right? I bring together at the same time like this. If I want to do 2 and I want to add 7, right? It doesn't matter which beads it is. It just matters the amount. So we know we have the 5. We know we're adding the 2, and that's what we're doing. Yeah? And then 8. 8's not too difficult, right? We have 1, then there's 8. Take away the 8. We add the 8, take away the 8. Easy. Oh, light bulb. I love that. Yeah, right? Because you got it. See, that's what I'm saying. Abacus is the greatest thing next to sliced bread. So you know what you did is you added the 9. That's what you did. And what you did is you did a substitution. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into it. But I'm done. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 5 and then add the 4. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take away the 7. We take away the 7. That's what we're doing. And then if you notice that as you move the beads, you're going to start seeing number patterns. And that's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. Like you actually see the number patterns. You don't see these. These are actually what we call symbols. There's no interest in that. Right? You have to really think what these are. But on the abacus, you know, if I add the 5, I add the 4. So the blue bead is 5. Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So good. Oh, no, wrong one.
Open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
No, this one was for Alicia. Alicia.
Welcome to the real world.
And then this one is for, Adeline.
Oh, I can see everything.
Right? And then this one is for Yaz.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
I got sounds. I love my sounds. It's so much better than the default ones. I love it. It's so awesome. Okay, so we added. Okay, what are we doing? What we're going to do now is we're going to get into understanding how to make a 5. Thank you for the follow. Look forward. I will look forward. Thank you so much. Okay, so what's going to happen is, now, again, please, if you keep your minds open.
Now, open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
We're going to do something very simple. Now, the reason why we're going to do something simple is because if I have too many numbers, then it gets overwhelming. I just want to be very specific and very fundamental. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 3. We're going to add the 3 on my abacus. So I have 1, 2, 3, but I have something better. I'm going to use money. Oh, I'm going to use money. Hey, Laura. Money, 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 money. So I'm going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 on my abacus. I have 3 on my abacus. I want to add the 4. I need to add the 4. But guess what? I don't have enough beads to add the 4. No, I don't have any loose beads. Maybe I should be more specific. I don't have any loose beads to add the 4. If I do this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is not what we're adding, right? Because why? This is now 43. What we want to do is we want to add 4 to this column. When we add 4, we're not going to count up. Mainstream math, they count up. We're not going to do that. We're going to understand this concept. We know 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, but now what are we going to do is we do not want to have any free-loading numbers. What we're going to do is we're going to understand, hey, guess what? I have a 5. So because I have a 5, I'm going to give you my 5. 4 and 5. 5 is more than enough for the 4. So what am I going to do? Thank you, Adeline. Yeah, right. So take the blue down and take away the orange. My goodness, right? See, makes sense. So I'm going to take away the 1. My final answer is 7. So again, what we're doing is we're understanding this concept of how to make a 5. Oh my God, Maddie! Jeffers is here. It's like a reunion. You guys are so awesome. Thank you guys for coming by. So here it is, right? The idea is we have, it doesn't matter which column you start with. No, it doesn't matter, but I like to start with the one with the label because I work with labels. So when I work, I usually go to the one with the label. So this is the ones or this is the ones. But I would use one of them because if I use a different one, then depending on how big the number gets, I will get confused. Does that make sense, Sylvia? Maddie, that's great. I'm so happy you're back. I'm so happy you're back. Okay, so we have that. Oh, so that's what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what we did. So what we're going to do is we're going to...
You need modification. Modify!
So we have this number, we have this addition sentence. This is an addition sentence. We're going to isolate this variable. Now we're getting into a little bit about algebra, right? So we're going to isolate the variable. What does that mean? I'm going to make this by itself. We're going to do a 4, but it equals to 5. Guess what? That's too much. So I'm going to minus the 1. It looks very similar if I said my x is equal to 5 minus 1. Because what's the difference? The difference is in Abacus world, we have a known variable, whereas in algebra, the variable is unknown. Hey, Gary, okay, have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by, Gary. I'm usually on in the mornings as well, so if you can catch me in the mornings, it'll be good. Hello! My son's on the spectrum and this helps him loves math. Really? That's so awesome! Thank you so much for sharing that. That's so awesome, right? You have very warm and honest feeling. Oh, thank you. Look forward. I really like that name. Look forward. Okay, so what are we doing? So now we know we're going to take this 4 and we're going to substitute this information. So that's what we did. If I have 4 on my abacus, I have 4 on my abacus. I have 4 on my abacus. I have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? I'm going to add another 4. And when I add another 4, I'm going to add the 5 because I have more than enough, but that's too much. I'm going to expect change. So I'm going to take away the 1. My final answer is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm going to do, I can show you on my abacus. I add the 5 and I take away the 1. My final answer is 8. Does that make sense? That's what we did. We power up our formula. We power up our number sentence. That's what we did. And that's the crazy thing, right? So let's do it again. We can do it with the 3. What? Yeah. There's a whole set we can use. And then you know what we're doing is after a while, we're going to... Ryan, are you sure an abacus is not allowed? Because it is an accessible tool. And for those people that are unable to function or have visibility problems, I believe it is available. But then again, back in the day, they didn't know what an abacus was. And I'm not sure how old you are, but I do believe it is possible now, because this is the second time that you've mentioned that abacus is not allowed as a tool. Because it's not a calculator. All it does is it tracks your numbers. And it's not very loud either. Have a good night, Dean. Good to be? Good to be. Is that right? I don't know what GPT is. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Which is wild because it was the first... Yeah, right? It was one of the first calculators, kind of. But it's not like a... Yeah, anyways. There you go. Thank you. Going to bed. I'm so old. I don't even know what these acronyms are. And that's so funny. All right. Oh, my God. You guys are funny. Okay. Thank you for the vote of confidence. This is too fun. Okay. So again, what are we going to do? Because, that's it. Okay. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. We're going to isolate the variable. We have the 3. We're going to isolate it. Again, what we're doing is we're doing the beginning parts of algebra. We're not doing algebra, but we're doing like algebra type kind of concepts, right? So 3 is equal to 5 minus 2. Now, am I going to tell this to the kids? I'm going to say to the kids x minus 5. No, I'm not going to tell this to the kids. But because I'm talking to big people, sometimes big people know what this means. Now, if you look, this is what's the crazy thing about it. Now, if you look, I have x is equal to 5 minus 2. Guess what? I have x is equal to 5 minus 1. What if I replace the 1? So it'd be x is equal to 5 minus y. So if I x is equal to 5 minus y. Do you see that? That's crazy. That's so awesome. I think it's the greatest thing. It's so crazy. Like Abacus World, nobody ever actually made this connection. I've never seen that happen. But I'm making the connection now. So hopefully I can trademark it. So what we're doing is understanding that we're going to take the 3 and we're going to substitute it. Right? Damn, you stumped me. I've been working with why did the frog take the bus to work? Oh boy, x plus y. So, oh wait, we got to do the 3. I don't know, Maddie. Why? So here we're doing it, right? Because he got towed. So we have 3. We add the 3. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to put 3 on my abacus. Now guess what? I'm going to add the 5. 5 is too much. So I need to take away the 2. So I'm going to, I can show you on my abacus, because I have the 3, I have 3 on my abacus, I'm going to add the 5, and I need to take away the 2. So my final answer is 6. So we could do it again with the abacus, right? We do 4. We have 4 on the abacus, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Dean, I thought you were going to go to sleep. So then what happens is we're going to add the 3. When we add the 3, there's not enough. I'm going to use my 5, but I have to take away 2. So now what we're doing is we're doing an exchange. Like, I don't know if anybody deals with money anymore, but if we give a $20 bill, we need to understand how to do an exchange, right? So this is kind of the beginning parts of understanding how to do an exchange. So because I did that, I can show you on my abacus. I can add the 5, but I need to take away the 2. And then my final answer is 9. I passed the Florida algebra. Hey, that's great! That's fantastic, W guy. That is really awesome. Well done. Well done. So that's what we're doing with the 3. Does that make sense? So what we're doing is, now the 3 only has certain numbers that it deals with. So even with the 2, if I have 2 on the abacus, I'm going to add the 3. When I have the 3, again, I don't have enough B's, I'm going to take away the 2, because I'm going to give you the 5. So I add the 5 and take away the 2. But when we do the 1, is there enough? Can we add the 3? Can we do it? Yes, we can. So we're going to add the 3. 1, 2, 3, and we add the 3. And there we go. So my final answer is 4. Make sense? So we could do it again. But now when we do the 2, there's not a lot of questions with the 2. Because 2 is getting smaller, right? Because it's 2. So these are the only 2 questions that we really need to use the 2. So if you look, we have 2 plus 2, right? We have enough, but that's fine. This one is a 2 plus 1. If I did 1, is there enough for 2? Yes, there is. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to buy one of these. Wow, that's good, Alicia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for keeping your mind open. Because the abacus... It is, because there's so much more to it, and it's really crazy on how elegant it is. And the funny thing is we don't actually, this doesn't do the calculations. We are the ones that actually do the calculations, if you really think about it. And I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like, they're saying that this is a calculator, but you know what this is? This only tracks your numbers. We are the ones that needs to understand how to move it. Once you know how to move it, then it's fantastic. It's beautiful how you're passionate about it. Oh, yeah, it's so crazy. My kids are tired of me talking about abacus, and they're like, come on already. So, we have the 3, and then we add the 2. When we add the 2, guess what? When I add the 2, I'm going to add the 3. When I add the 3, I don't have enough. I'm going to give you 2. When I give you 2, I'm going to take away 3. So my final answer is 5. I can show you on my abacus. I add the 5 and take away the 3. And my answer is 5. Savon. So, is your child still using the abacus now? I think it's the greatest thing that they keep using it till like very end, because I don't see what the point of having it mental math for. I mean, we keep pushing in mainstream math, we keep pushing to have the kids do mental math, but I think with the abacus, it's kind of cool because you know and you understand the fundamental, but once you get the fundamentals, then your brain opens up to more complex math, which is really quite interesting, because I believe that abacus is the gateway to complex math. So here we have 4. When we have the 4, right, I want to add the 2. If I add the 2, guess what? I don't have enough. So what's going to happen is what? I add the 2. To add the 2, I'm going to add the 2, but that's too much. I got to take away the 3. So my final answer is 6. Now I could do it again on my abacus. I add the 5, and I take away the 3. And my final answer is 6. I was at Sylvan learning for years at a kid and mental. Yeah, right. And that's the crazy thing. You know why? Because it was a lot of memorization. Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing. So I was watching this one movie, one documentary called the Truth About Reading, and they were talking about how illiterate people, what they do is they memorize certain parts of the words. And so what they did is they learned certain parts of the words, and then they had to like figure out how to do things. And that's what we're doing with math. We, in the beginning, when I was a kid, we were taught to memorize. And so the interesting thing about it was that it never really gave us the concept of understanding how to do certain things. As we go through with the abacus method, you're going to start critically thinking about the numbers. I didn't want to correct anymore. I didn't want to correct anyone. I was actually thinking it could help him being, oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. I believe it will help. I don't specialize in it, but I believe it will help. I've had a few people that were on the spectrum. I had a few people that were, even in my lives, there was a few people that had dyscalculia. There was a few people that had ADHD. There's a few people that had dysgraphia. That's what they mentioned, and they said that this was really great. So, my math teacher gave my class a test on something we didn't even know. Aw, that's too bad. Sorry, Maddie. Or would it confuse him? He's 8. Honestly, I don't think it would confuse him. Just take a little bit slow. Mine's coming on the 16th. Yes, Heather. How does it work? I've always wondered. Hey, chili cheese Ray. Yeah, I would take it slow. I mean, and there's patience. But he might pick it up a lot faster. The whole class failed. Shut up, Maddie. Oh, sorry, chili cheese Ray. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to read the abacus. We're going to count anytime the horizontal bar is being contacted with the bead, it's going to be counted. So if this bead is touching this horizontal bar, this is what's counted. This is 1. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10 is over here. What does that mean? Why is it here? The reason why it's here is because now every column is a place value. So we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, and our 10,000s. So when we're looking, okay, Alicia, thank you so much for dropping by. I hope to see you in my next live. But thank you for joining me, and thank you for keeping your mind open to Abacus. Oh, thank you so much for the heart me, everybody. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you for checking in. Do you do microeconomics? I don't even know what macroeconomics is. That is above my pay grade. I am sorry. It's definitely. It is 10:10 for me right now. Thank you for asking, Maddie. Yeah. Yeah, Savan, so that's what I'm thinking. He's 8. I would take it slow. I'd have him to count. I honestly think it would work. But that, I mean, I don't know. You would have to try it out. It is a different way of moving the beads. It is a different way of thinking. It's very different from Abacus. It is very different than mainstream. I will tell you that. So if you're looking for, I mean, I can help you, not a problem. You can find other Abacus teachers. I'm not the only one that teaches Abacus. And so if you're looking for somebody like around your neighborhood, I'm sure there's somebody there. Or his brain is wild how he thinks about, and he loves math. Yeah, it's really crazy because the abacus will give him different connections. My son, he's not on the spectrum or anything, but he was able to make some sort of other connections that I didn't even think about, and it was really quite crazy. So I do believe that it would help. Yes, I am in California. It's 10. Angela, you need to go to bed. Yeah, God, it's so comforting and interesting. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. And it was cool because you got that like brain, like your brain just exploded because you're able to see it, right? Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And that's what really drives me. Like it really warms my heart when people make connections and they see how easy it is. Visual counting helps ADHD for sure. Yeah, I am in California, Maddie. Yeah. And so yeah, I had a few kids that were autistic, and they just really gravitated towards the abacus. And there's a whole, I mean, I have a whole, I'm still building out my series. In the series that I have, I'm trying to be as explicit, as explanatory as possible. So I have all these instructions on how to use the abacus. Those moments are fun. Yeah. Okay. Take care. Thank you, Adreline. Take care. And I will see you in my next live. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. Okay. Hey, Bree. How's it going? Okay. So we added the 5. Oh, Adreline left because I was going to do the 10s. No, I'm going to do -5s. No, I'm doing -5s. We still have a little bit. Okay, what we're doing is we're going to do -5. Why are we going to do -5? We're going to do -5 because we need to know how to take our jacket off. We put our jacket on, we need to take our jacket off, and that's what this is. So what I did is I broke up the concepts, and the way I have it, the reason why I broke up the concepts is because I wanted the kids to practice. And I was thinking I was thinking the kids were like 4 to 7. I wasn't thinking that it was going to be anybody older, because I was in my thinking, teaching and stuff. I only saw kids. I never really taught any adults because none of the adults were very interested. Only until I came into TikTok where you guys are all interested, and I'm actually working on a book for Introduction to Abacus for Adults. And what I would do is I would condense all these concepts into one book, but you wouldn't have as many practice problems because you don't need that many practice problems. But so looking in this plus five book that I've created, it is available in my shop. It is available in my shop. The Abacus is also available in my shop as well. And then what I did is I have my quote unquote lessons. So what we do is we talk about add the 4, add the 3, add the 2, add the 1. And that's what I've been doing with the live. And so what I do towards the end is I give you practice activities. So all of these questions are very specific to how to make a 5. There should not be anything outside of it. The reason why is because I wanted to solidify the concept of how to make a 5. So when we're looking, even with this maze, you answer the question and then you follow the path. But again, the idea is to make sure that there's the concept of how to make a 5. There's a colored by number, and there's more mazes. I have the hidden words. So you answer the question, take the number, take the letter, and then you find the answer at the bottom to find your hidden word. This one is a word problem, and so I was trying to get the kids to also understand how to read, because that's the one thing that we need to continue on, is understand how to read and go forward. And then what's next? Then I have a tic-tac-toe. The idea of tic-tac-toe is to be able to answer the question, place your marker, and then and see if you win. And then that's what I did here. Yeah. So this is my book. And then if you're ever wondering, the answers are in the back. Just in case I didn't explain anything well. So hopefully you can get the answers from there. But that's what this book is. So the idea is once they get an understanding how to add the 5, then I would move on to learning how to minus the 5, and then use the rest of the pages of the plus 5 as practice. So you can continue to practice as they learn something different, learn something new. So what we're going to do now is understand how to minus the 5. Now, if you look, it's very similar. We know how to add the 4. We're going to have to take away the 4. So if I have 8, and I want to take away the 4, all I have to do is minus the 5 plus the 1. So I'm going to minus the 5 and I add the 1. Look, it's very similar. If you notice, when I add the 4, take away the 4. I put the jacket on, I take the jacket off. Very easy. It's just the opposite. Crazy, right? But yeah. What we're doing is we're understanding, now we see number pattern. We add the 4, and we take away the 4. That's it. It's the same thing with the 3. So if I have 7, I'm going to add the 3, and I take away the 3. That's it. Easy. You really, children, what? You really think children will be on this live? No. I really think that there's parents on this live, Michael. And people who are interested in puzzles. If you're not interested in puzzles, then that's fine. So what are we going to do? When we add it, right, we have 16, 1, 6, and then we take away 4. We want to minus 4. There's not enough beads to take away the 4. Yeah, there's no judgment. I'm not judging anybody who's here. I don't know why Michael needs to judge. And you know what? There are children on this, because there is a few people, I know their children, and they take me to their classes and they show me to their teachers. So yes, there are children on this live. They should be sleeping, but I know they're on. There's no judgment. I don't know what the problem is. Okay. We're going to take away the 4. Thank you, Maddie. It is really easy. You just understand how to move the beads. Everything is all easy. And you know what it is I feel like that if you understand the specific questions. So I'm trying to use specific questions when you go through the abacus, right? Because somebody was saying that it looks really easy when I do it. But what I do is I try to ask very specific questions. Can I take away the 4? No. Well, how can I do it? I want to minus the 5 plus the 1. I want to minus the 5 plus the 1. And my final answer is 12. So we can do it again with the 5. So we have 15 minus 4. So I have 15 and take away the 4. Do I have any beads to take away the 4? No, I don't. So what am I going to do? I'm going to minus the 5 plus the 1. I'm going to minus the 5 plus the 1. And my final answer is 11. Ah, Michael left. I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. So that's what it is. So when we're doing it, right? And then this was the thing. So the idea was to, provide activities as well, because it gets really boring. When I saw people speeding through these, I thought it was really confusing, but now it's really easy to know. Yeah, right. I'm telling you. It's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. Thank you so much, Maddie. Right? Oh, I seen that. Yeah, but now you know when they're doing this, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing, and they're doing it in their head. They do the abacus enough times that they can imagine it in their brain. I don't do it. I don't. That's. I'm here to create more worksheets that are abacus specific. I'm going to flood the world with abacus worksheets, and I'm in the process of making, like, I got my abacus mazes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where were you when I was in school? Ah, thank you, extra. Ah. I try to explain as much as I can, and also not be judgy. Because everybody learns differently, and everybody learns at a different speed. Whether I go slower or I go faster, everybody learns at a different speed, and it all just depends on what the right tool is. So here is, we're going to do 16. We're going to add 16. We add 1, we add 6, and then we want to take away the 3. When we take away the 3, what are we going to do? We don't have any more beats, because look, we only have 1 beat here. So when we take away the 5 plus the 2. We take away the 5 plus the 2. Now you'll see, right? We added the 3, we take away the 3. That's the funny thing, right? That's the number pattern that people keep saying. You got to see the number pattern. You got to see the number pattern. But you know what? I see it on the abacus.
Oh, I can see everything.
Right? Because now we can actually visualize the actual numbers, even though this is 5, but that's like a group of 5, right? And so when we're looking at it, I still don't know how people so fast, but I understand it now. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we do with the 3. And then it's the same thing. So again, what I'm doing is I have the activities to strengthen their concept of how to make a 5 and how to take away the 3. This one is minus the 2. Minus the 2 is exactly the same as adding to 2, right? So if I have 6, I'm going to take away the 2. When I take away the 2, I have to minus the 5 plus the 3. So we have to remember what? We have to remember the partners. What do they call it? The fact family. We have to remember the fact family. Abacus World calls it complementary, but nobody really knows that. 5 minutes, I think it took, and not really. Yeah. But see, the thing is people just need to explain how to read it. Once you learn how to read it, then the next thing is to understand, like, specific concepts. So this is a specific concept that the Abacus World talks about, and some people call it friends, big friends, small friends, whatever. There's a lot of different terminologies in mainstream world, in Abacus World. But in mainstream, we call it, what do we call it? In mainstream world, it is called fact family and how to make a 5. And so what I was trying to do is I was trying to relate abacus to mainstream math, and that's why I'm using most of the terminologies that's being used in math. In Abacus World, we don't talk about isolating the variable, and we don't talk about substitution, but that's what I'm starting to bring in. Yeah, the duality, yeah. And so that's the interesting, like, in the beginning when I was learning abacus, I was told that it was an enrichment program. Thank you, Andrew, for all of the gifts. Thank you so much. But it's really interesting. Marry the process. Yes, Michael. Welcome, Michael. So the thing was what? The thing was, in Abacus World, in the beginning when I started my abacus journey, it was taught to me that it was supposed to be an enrichment program for those people that are gifted or whoever. But then as I gone through and trying to put abacus on the internet, I realized that abacus is really just math, but a different way of thinking. And I felt like it was better to be part of the mainstream as opposed to an enrichment program. I'm sleepy, but I'm going to try to stay on. Maddie, go to sleep. I'll be here for another day. Hello, Michael. I did the finding the interest rate earlier today. It took a little bit of time But I realized it was a higher concept than what I was doing. I need a Maddie, you're so funny. So 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 that's the thing that I was trying to do. So I realized what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to bring to mainstream world is that Abacus is a forgotten tool and we need to embrace it because we have all these other activities, we have all these other manipulatives, but we don't use the actual Soroban, which is like really crazy. Which is really crazy. Did I miss it? It was earlier today. I can try to go again depending on how many people there are on them live. Woo! 150 people. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But thank you guys for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. But yeah, that's the one thing about the beef with my beef with mainstream is that this is a forgotten tool and I'm here to uncover it for everybody. I used mine a few times since I got it. Hey, Deceptive! Nice! Nice! So happy. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for joining. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on. So again, what this is my minus the 5. Minus the 5 is another concept. It's just as we did it, right? We learned how to put our jacket on. We're going to take our jacket off. And when we take our jacket off, we understand that we're going to take away the 2. When we take away the 2, we know we're going to take away the 5 minus the 1, minus the 3. The 4 is the 1 is the same thing. So we have 5 and then we want to take away the 1 minus the 5 plus the 4. This doesn't have a lot of questions. Okay, Maddie, good night. I'll see you tomorrow. And then again, I have all these questions. This one's an activity. I really like this activity. The activity is you answer the question and you cut it out and then you have to find the bud that goes with it. And then obviously you glue it. And then this one is a hidden word. And after the hidden word, again, I added more word problems. And then this one is a maze because I like mazes. I like mazes and I like puzzles. And then the word problems and more puzzles. Color by number. And what else? And then don't forget there will be answers in the back. Just in case. I have my answers in the back. And that's it. This is what we do for the minus 5. So minus 5 is available on my shop as well as the Abacus. These are also in the shop as well. So thank you everybody for joining. What we're going to do is we're going to carry on because wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Guess what? It's the final one. I have it. You have it? Oh, yay! So what we're going to do is we're going to do adding of the 10. Now, this is a concept that we're teaching the kids. We're teaching the kids how to make a 10. This is different than making friendly numbers, I believe. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a 10. We're going to take this concept, but we're going to compound what we know here to how we do the 10. And this is what Adeline was talking about. And I was like, that's brilliant. I'm so happy. He was able to make the connection. I'm assuming it's a he. Adeline was able to make the connection. And it was like, that's fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to understand this. Now, what this is another word for carrying on. What else? Regrouping, trading, borrowing. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of others. But what we're doing, and the interesting thing about the Abacus is that it really shows you the fundamentals of, and how the fundamentals that we really need to do. So what does that mean? We're going to add the 10. We're going to make a 10. So the question is this number. Oh, where's my Abacus? So here I have 4 on my Abacus. Where's my money? There it is. So I have 4 on the Abacus. Oh, there it is. 4 on the Abacus. I have 4 on my Abacus, just like that. Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have it, Angela. I remember. Sorry. I remember. I see what you're saying. So we're going to add the 9. When we add the 9, guess what? We don't have enough beads to add the 9. But you know what? I do have 10 cents. Because I have 10 cents, I can trade it in. But 10 cents is too much. I'm going to take away the 1. So guess what? I can show you on my Abacus. Preston. Take notes, people. Okay, Preston. So we add the 10, and then we take away the 1. My final answer is 13. And that's it. So what we're going to do is what? We're going to continue on with the concept. So the concept is adding at the 10. I think Preston was able to bring on like 40 people because he keeps commenting. I'm assuming Preston is a he. Could be a girl. I'll call Preston an it. And so that's okay. It's okay. To each their own. Because Preston didn't open their mind.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
Plasmo, you're back. Loopy! Hello! So the abacus is used to keep track of numbers. Yes, that's all it is. That's all it is. It was so crazy to make that realization that the abacus is only to track your numbers. That's it. That's it. So if we have 9, if we have 3, so summer, this is 3. Does that make sense? And then we're going to do a review. We have 3, this is 4. So if I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 4. And then what's 5? 5 is all this take away. And then this is 5. You know what a nickel is. This is 5 cents. Does that make sense? This is 5 cents. So this 5 cents is this 5 up here. That's it. Does that make sense, Summer? I'm not sure if you're still around. When I have 5, I'm going to add the 1. Now I have 6. So I'm going to add the 6. So my final answer is 6. I'm going to add another 1. Now I have 7. I'm going to add another 1. And now I have 8. Now I have another 1. Guess what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And what do I have? Well, what's after 9? Well, 9 is 10. 9 is 10. Blue, yes, blue is 10. Yes, yes. And so what happens? 10 is what? 1 and a 0. 1, 0. 1, 0. Every column is a place value. So when we're looking, every column is a place value. We have our 1s, our 10s, our 100s, our 1000s, our 10,000s. Wormy. Wormy X. Wormy X. Does that make sense? Right? So when we're looking, I use this one. There's a dot right here. I don't know if you can see it. I use this dot as my 1s indicator. Because I use this dot as my 1s indicator, I go my 1s, my 10s, my 100s, my 1000s, my 10,000s. However,
Pokemon, I choose you!
if I choose this one over here, then I'm over here. I have my 1s, my 10s. And then I can count it. I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. And then we can count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. But now I have no more room for hundreds. So that's why I choose this one over here.
Okay, Charizard, I choose you!
Okay? So then I move everything over to this. So it all depends on how big you think your number is. The idea is just kind of like figure it out and try to, understand what's going on. So then this is a 7-column abacus, and that's available in my shop. It's a 7-column abacus. You could order the 13-column abacus, and it just depends on who's it for. And that's also available in my shop. If you ever need Hey Lizzie, if you ever need or want a moderator, I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for the offer. Thank you, Lizzie. I don't know what that entails. I apologize. This is I'm still very new to all this TikTok stuff, even though I have a great soundboard. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like all of the stuff that happens with TikTok lives and stuff. But I appreciate it. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Lizzie, for the offer. So the 7 colors is as good as for the small ones. You know what? The 13 one works just as good with the smaller ones. It just depends on how big your number is. So I use the smaller abacus. I use it for smaller kids because the numbers and the questions are not that big. And in the beginning of the abacus journey, your numbers are not going to be very big until you get to say double digits, double-digit multiplication or triple-digit multiplication, then I would start going into the 13-column abacus. But I think the difference is when you start going into division, I would move to the 13-column one. You can appoint someone to get rid of Preston's. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I don't get too many Prestons. I'm very lucky, I feel like. Can the 1s indicator be moved to another column? Yes, yes. So if I use this one to be my 1s, right, then I have my 1s, thousands, and millions. And then if I wanted to, I might, depending on how big I get, Lizzie, I'm just thinking, depending on how big I get, I would start seeing that. Okay, so I have to keep that in mind. Michael, so if I choose this one, then I have my 1s, thousands, millions, and then billions, right? So it all depends on how big our number gets. And that's what I'm saying, if the number gets too big, then is there a really point to try to track it all? Because I can't remember anything higher than, I don't know, even trillions is tough to just see. Okay, yeah? Yeah, so Warm. So can we solve that from the beginning? Another problem from the beginning. Oh, okay. Um, so well, you know what? We'll continue on from the tens, because this is another concept that we're being taught in class, right? In school, mainstream school, we're teaching what's it called? Fact family, right? They're teaching fact families, and this is a fact family, how to make a 10. So if we notice, let's see, 9, right? We have our 1 plus 9 is equal to 10. Now, when we're doing it, what we're going to do is we're going to add the 3. When we add the 3, right, there's my number. Add the 3. 1, 2, 3. And then what I'm going to do, I don't have any more loose change. I don't have any more loose beads, right, or loose pennies to add the 9. What can I do? I can add a 10. What is a 10? 10 is this, 1 and a 0. That's what a 10 is. So what's going to happen is that's too much. Because this is too much, I need to take away the 1. So my final answer is 12. Did that make sense, Worm? So we could do it again. If I have 4, and that's when I started off with, and then everybody was like, oh, wait a minute. So we do 4, we could do it again. I have 4 on the abacus. I want to add 9. To add the 9, I don't have any more loose change. I don't have any more single digits, right? I don't have any more single pennies. So what I can do is I can add my 10 cents. I add my 10 cents, but that's too much. So what's going to happen is what? I have to take away the 1 because that is too much. So my final answer is 13. I can show you on my abacus. I have to take away the 1. So my final answer is 13. Thank you, Worm. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do hope that it makes sense. But again, this is a concept. So what we just did, what did we just do? We power up. We power up our concept. We power up the addition sentence. The addition sentence is what? Plus the 1, 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. What did we do? We did some...
You need modification! Modify! Modify!
So what did we do? We isolate the variable. The variable is what? In Abacus world, we focus on the add-in. We focus on the result. We focus on the number that we're trying to do stuff to. So we focus on the 9. That is the add-in, right? That's the number that we focus on. We want to marry the process and divorce the result. We want to understand, how do we add the 9? So that's our variable. In Abacus world, we have this variable and we're going to isolate it. It looks very familiar to algebra. I have 9 is equal to 10. That's too much. I'm going to take away the 1. What we did is we made the 9 and we substituted this information into the 9. If we take it one step further, and we're going to modify it, we're going to take it one step further, we're going to have it x is equal to 10 minus 1. So now what we do is we started the concept of algebra in our adding and subtracting. And again, when we start doing that, we're going to actually start thinking critically when we have our numbers. So when we look at it, it's like rounding up then minus the excess. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, Plesmo. I see that. That's a good one. I like that. So when you're looking, right, we want to add the 9. We can do it again. We have 2 on the abacus. That's too much. That's too much. We cannot add the 9. So we have to add the 10. Adding the 10 is too much. We need to take away the 1. So I can show you on my abacus. So my final answer is 11. Using the coins helped me visualize how I add and subtract on the abacus. Yeah, you know, and we do it. I mean, for those people that pay cash, it's very easy to see the concept. Yeah. And so it's interesting because we could do it again with the 8. So with 8, we isolate the variable. We have 8 is equal to plus 2 minus 10. So we have 8 is equal to, plus the 10 minus the 2. Let's make our variable different. Let's make our variable unknown. X is equal to 10 minus 2. Guess what? Guess what? Say it with me. Hi! Hi! How are you doing? I am fragile. Oh, it's funny. You're so funny. So here we're going to have the x. But guess what? We're going to take this 2. we're going to take this 1 and we're going to replace it to an unknown. So now we have our algebraic formula. X is equal to 10 minus y. We could do it again. X is equal to 10 minus y. Thank you so much. I am fragile. I am so happy you're here. Does that make sense? So what did we do? We understood the concept of algebra and we were able to relate it to abacus. Now what's the difference? Abacus, these are known variables. Algebra, these are unknown. What are we learning? We're learning the plus 10s right now. And yeah, we were just talking about the plus 10s. And then I wanted to get into the two-step equations. Hopefully Jeffers is still around. I'm not sure. But hopefully we can get into two-step equations. Because now we understand how to make a 10. And that's what it is. And there's a whole set, right? 4 and 6, 8 and 2, 7, 3, 5 and 5. It works all the same. You add the 5, take away the 10. Minus the 10, add the 2, plus the 2 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 8. There's a whole set. Making fun learning such a powerful hold. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I do have a full class. But there's only like 3 people talking. And then there was a Preston. And I had another person, but I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so what's going to happen is, right, these are all this is how to make a 10. So making a 10 is plus the 1 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 9. Or this one, plus the 2 is plus the 10 minus the 8. Or this one is plus the 10 minus the 7. This one is plus the 4 minus the 6. Plus the 10 minus the 6. This one is plus the 10 minus the 5. Right? So these are all the same formulas. But what we're doing is we're understanding how to make a 10. Trying to get it. Oh yeah, Angela, yeah. Too busy watching to talk. We lurk. Okay, so here we want to add the 7. When we add the 7, we want to plus the 10 minus the 3. That's what we're doing. So what we're doing is we're understanding if we want to make a 7, we can replace it and substitute it for a 10 and a 3. Does that make sense? So it's the same thing with the 8. Plus the 10 minus the 2, and then plus the 9 is plus the 10 minus the 1. Thank you so much for the follow, George. Jorge. Yeah. Okay, so how are we doing? I gotta go. I hope you get more. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. See you next time. See you next time, Lizzie. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, so that's what making of the 10. Show us the abacus. Oh, there it is. That's the abacus. Thank you, understandable. I'm so happy that you want to keep your mind open.
Now open your mind to me, please. Open your mind.
So, let's do a little review for understandable. So, what we're going to do is we're going to read the abacus and we're going to understand how to count. We do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So when we look, every column is a place value. Every column is a place value. And which value are we doing? We're doing this dot. This one, it's all decimals. You're absolutely right. So this one is my ones place. Because my ones, I have my tenths and my hundredths. I have my tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. And if I choose to, I can use a 13 column abacus and it works exactly the same. Just choose a dot, just choose any of these dots, and then it can be any other ones. Yeah. Thank you. Understandable. That was really quick. Yes, so all the top beat is the value of 5. So what we do is we can actually utilize formulas. So some of the formulas, no, all of the formulas in Abacus is either adding the 5 or adding the 10. And that's it. And you know how to add the 5, add the 10, then we can go into any number and we can scale it. Oh, that's right. So let's start with something. This one's easy. This one's easy. So we have 1, we have 1, 3, 5, 7. 7. Pretty outrageous to think any Hindi and Asian restaurant nowadays will do this mentally. They do pretty well. Yep. There's actually a few people that follow me, like we follow each other, and they're out in Africa, and they have like a full classroom of people, of kids, of learning abacus. It's great. Zoo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a few, like I have a few African. One I don't you some of them Ghana. I think one of them's in Ghana. One of them's in one of them's in somewhere in Africa. And yeah, they have like a whole classroom, and I don't know how that's being done, but yeah, and they tag me all the time, which is funny. Super competitive. What? What's super competitive? Oh, the going mentally. Yeah, there's competitions. There are abacus competitions, and they're international abacus competitions. I don't do it, and I don't really care for going into competitions. I just want to. My thing is, I just want all the kids to know how to use the abacus because I think it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add 2431, 2431. Now the question is, can I add the 2? Yes, I can add the 2. Can I add the 4? Yes, I can add the 4. How do I do it? I'm going to add the 5, take away the 1. So what did I just do? I just scaled. It doesn't matter where we are. It just matters what we're trying to do with that specific column. Can I add the 3? Yes, I can add the 3. Can I add the 1? Yes, I can add the 1. I'm so humble letting them win by not going. I am fragile. That's funny. I always add left to right, and abacus makes it easier. Yes, I was thinking about the left to right thing again, and I think it's just it flows better from left to right. Even if it gets a little bit more difficult, it still flows better from left to right because I believe the way we say it, the way we talk, 2,431 makes more sense than 130, 400, 2,000. So that's the one thing. Okay. And then we could do it again with this one, right? So we have 2, we have 20, we have 6. We're going to add 32. Add the 3, add the 2, add the 3. We know we're going to plus the 5, take away the 2, and then we add the 2. And then we're done. 58 is the answer. Yep. The fourth is the example in which the thousands place. Yes. Yes. So then that's where this comes in. My handy dandy place marker. So we had 1, 3, 5, 7. Yep. There we go. Cool. Thank you everybody for joining. Wow. Okay, how are we doing? So that's about adding and subtracting. Is there any instance in which you couldn't start the ones from all the way to the left? The only instance is if you don't care about, you could, unless you have decimals, right? Then that would be a problem because then you have no more room for decimals. You would start from here or you could start from here. But yeah, it just depends. If you always work with whole numbers, you could start from here, but then it would confuse me because this is my label for ones. But that's a good question. The reason why is like if we ever to do money, right? Money is the coins, right? 50 cents. That would be 50 cents. So it all depends. It all depends on like how big the number is and how many decimals you have, even if you don't. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. I don't feel young, but thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. Did you do that one from the right? Did you do that one from the right? This one? One, 3, 7. Oh, I did. Oh, wait, no, I didn't do it from the right. I see what you're saying. No, I didn't. I should. So, 1, 3, 5, 7. So I have 1, right? I have 3. I have 4 plus the 5 minus the 1, and then 2. There you go. It's not as difficult because it's not as difficult. It doesn't matter which way. Why? Because we're working with the individual columns. It matters more when you do the adding of the 10 and making of the 10. Can you do an easy decimal problem? Yeah, not a problem. I need to find my book. Oh, I need to hold, please. Let's see. Excuse me. we do this, and we do that. All right. So, okay. So we do we can do 8.6 plus 4.9. Stop yawning. I apologize. Ah, I'm so happy. Love from your family too. Ah, thank you so much, David. Have a good night. I do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. All right. So what are we doing? We are doing 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus the 6, right? And then what? We do 4. Which one do you want to do first? 4 or 9? What are we doing first? 4 or 9? You tell me. And then we'll do the second one. So we'll do 4 first. So we need to add the 4. Adding the 4 is what? Can we add the 5? No, we cannot add the 5. So we cannot add the 5. So we do 4 is equal to plus the 10 minus 6. So we plus the 10 minus the 6. And then we need to add the 9. Add the 9 is what? Plus the 10 minus 1. Plus the 10 minus the 1. My final answer is 13.5. Let's do it the other way. We do 9 first. So we do 86. Sorry, 8.6. That's what the decimals are. The only thing different is the different place values. It's nothing that difficult. Does that make sense? I am fragile. You know what I mean? Like a decimal is just another place value. It just separates the ones to the tens. That's it. That's it. So we add the 9 plus the 10 minus the 1. And then we add the 4 plus the 10 minus the 6. So my final answer is 13.5. Yeah. Yeah, don't be scared. It all works the same. You know, that's the funny thing about it. Abacus makes it very easy. You know, like it breaks it down. Gotcha, I thought it was going to be easy. Different. Yeah, I know, right? But then, yeah. It's so crazy. Like, I remember when I was in school, I was like, oh, decimals. But then when you break it down, all it is just a separate place value. That's it. You just put a dot. It's like a comma, right? When we do 3,570, what is it? It's a comma. That's all it is. It just happens to be. Yeah, right? So my rhetoric was I didn't get to use it because I needed to see both coefficient sets present at the same time on the abacus. I don't know. I don't know, understandable. What do you mean by at the same time? But now I understand it. What? I need to see both coefficient sets present. It's a literal tool. It is a literal tool. But I don't know what coefficient sets you're talking about. Are you talking about the pairs? Please, dumb it down for me. You only do one yeah. I don't, can you dumb it down? Is it the formulas? Are we talking about the pairs? Is that what we're doing? Or are we doing like the numbers? One number at a time. Yeah, right? One number at a time. But Understandable said to see both coefficient sets. Yeah, too many. I'm sorry. I am a little bit. It's above my pay grade. I don't know what I mean by I need to go to sleep. Okay, Angela, have a good night, Angela, and I'll see you on my next live. I meant both numbers sets are present on the abacus at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, Angela, let me know if you have any questions about the abacus, and I'll be here. This is how you're thinking, understandable. I thought both number sets are present on the abacus at the same time. Both number sets. It is not a number set. It is a workflow. So when we're looking, there's a whole workflow that happens. And that's what this comes in. So the workflow, when we talk about it, it will never be at the same time. The reason why is because the 4 can only do one thing. So when we're looking, like this specific example, the majority of the work occurs in my head. Yes. Everything, every calculation you do is all in your head. The only thing that you do on the abacus is just show the number. That's all you're doing. So when we're looking here, we want to add the 7, we add the 7. When we want to add the 4, the question will always be yes or no. Can I add it? Is there enough beads? Yes or no. If there's not enough beads, then I keep going. Can I add the 5? Yes or no. Yes, I can. No, I can't because I already have the 5. So my next one I have to do is plus the 10. I can only plus the 10. So plus the 10 minus the 6. So it's more of a workflow than it is at the same time. So thank you so much. I do appreciate that comment. And I like it because it's just one of those things that I just didn't see. Right? And so then the next one, so here's another one. This one is subtraction, and it works exactly the same, which is very different than mainstream math because why? Mainstream math gives you a different strategy to subtract, whereas in abacus, you know how to add, you'll know how to subtract. Same thing. So we have 17, and it goes through the same workflow. So the workflow is, do you have enough to add and take away the 4? No. Do you have enough to minus the 5? Yes, I do. So all I have to do is minus the 5 plus the 1. I do not need to go to the minus the 10. Does that make sense? So yes, it is a logic. It's a logic and it's more of a workflow as opposed to being done at the same time. Yeah. I love, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, this is actually part of the laminated book. So what I did was I added how to make a 5, and you can do it like commutative property, and I'm kind of tweaking the definition a little bit because it says only addition states, but in abacus we can do it for both addition and subtraction states. And then we have making of the 10. Making of the 10, right? This is one way to make a 10. We add the 10 or we take away the 10. Hello, Cody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. Does the abacus work on numbers going negative? No, the abacus does not work on negative numbers. The reason why is because you cannot take away a negative object, right? And so then the other thing is you could, theoretically you could, but you have to keep that negative in your mind. But then the problem is what? If you add too much, you have to track that you added too much, and you have to track that you took away too much. Does that make sense? So it is possible, like everything else, but it would just be another thing for you to track. So you could, right? School is out. Alias Millie. Alias Millie. Alias Millie only has 57 followers. That's okay. Alias Millie just needs to find something. So let's go abacus. Thank you, Plasma. Yeah, it is 2 a.m. And you're still learning. You're still mathing in the middle of the night. True. Okay. Then let's go by their share. Okay. Yeah. So eventually you need a reason to bring back to 0. Yes, exactly. And so that's the one thing, like understanding, like, I guess my next, after I finish the whole abacus curriculum and trying to flood the market with the curriculum, I wonder, like, how far can I push abacus to? Because my friend was talking about, so I have Audrey. Audrey talks about the GED and the ASVAD and all the other math tests. And she also does algebra. And it was really interesting. She actually did an interest rate. And she had a whole workflow of the interest rate. And then I started to be like, oh my God, I could do everything on the abacus. So instead of using a calculator, so here is her question. I don't know if you could see that. But here is her question. And I just followed. I don't know. Conceptually, I don't know this. But from my understanding of what she said and how I would fit it in, I can take away the 5. I can take away on the abacus. I could do multiplication on the abacus, and then I can do division on the abacus. But it's the one thing is to understand, like, abacus is just arithmetic. 86 only has 151 followers. But that's okay. They don't know anything either. Okay, so how are we doing? Does that make sense? Understandable? My only decent math subject, arithmetic. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, I am fragile. I can just ignore them. They're just looking for attention. So, okay, how are we doing? So, oh yeah, I am understandable. Did that make sense? Is there a 3D abacus? Well, this is a 3D abacus. Is there a 4D abacus? I don't think there's a 4D abacus. This is 3D. Okay, I literally do all of this in my head in about 30 seconds. Oh, that's so fantastic. Arntheg. 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 Arentheg. I don't know. So, like 2 place value abacus per particular. You know, yeah, but that would be 4D, right? Because now you're dealing with the Z dimension. Dang, I was hoping for the 4D abacus to do my math. That's Aaron. It's Aaron. The G. Is that a G? Why is it a G? Aaron, I don't know. Positive plus position. Yeah, right? I could see it, but I don't. Perpendicular. Yeah, I can see it. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. Understandable. All right. How are we doing? I was just wondering if there's any. Just wondering if it has any use. What, the 4D one? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything above arithmetic. So like I barely remember algebra, and I don't know calculus. My world is abacus, and it's all about abacus and trying to make it easy. I got my abacus from your shop. I already forgot everything. Need another basic. Okay, hey. So what we're doing, let's do another review. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay, let's do that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. That's it. 11, 12, 13, 14. And then we have this. Welcome back, fake. So when we look, we have our tens. We have our tens or ones, ones, tens, hundred, thousands, 10,000s. All right. Thank you for the question. Okay. Fake, did that make sense? You're so silly. You're so silly. All right. Number. La, 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 la. That's funny. Whoever that person was, Aaron. All right. 4, 7, 8, 9, 4, 2, 8, 8. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do is what? 4, 6, 7, 8. First thing we're going to do is what? Let's do the 4. So we know the 4 plus 4. The question is can I add the 4? No. Can I add the 5? Yes. So we're going to do plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus 1. Plus the 5, take away the 1. Can I add a 2? Yes, I can add the 2. Can I add the 8? No, I cannot add the 8. We know here, I'm here. When I add the 8 is what? Plus the 10, 8 is equal to plus the 10 minus 2. So I'm going to plus the 10, take away the 2. And then I'm on this 8. Can I add another 8? No, I can't. What do? I need to plus the 10 minus the 2. So my final answer is 8966. Thank you, I am fragile. And there's my comma. But what did I see? I saw a 5, how to make a 5, and 2, how to make a tens. So when we're looking, we want to make sure we have that concept. Right? When we want to make that concept, we want to make sure we understand how to make a 10 and how to make a 5. So regardless of which direction, you can add by going up 1. Can't skip. Yeah, ideally you wouldn't want to skip, right? So we can do it the other way. So we can do 8, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this is what Plesmo and I were talking about. You can go either which way. You can do the 8, it's the same, right? Plus the 10 minus 2. So plus the 10 minus the 2. Then I go to the next number. I want to add 8 here. So again, it's plus the 10 minus the 2. And I can do it here. Can I add the 2? Yes, I can add the 2. And then I'm going to add the 4. Yes, add the 4. How do I do it? Plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus 1. So I add the 5 and I take away the 1. So it's every specific column. That's why I have my column isolator. When you have the column isolator, it helps to keep track of the columns. And I don't know where I put it. Here it is. So when I'm looking at it, right, I do this. I don't need to, but sometimes it's helpful to see just the column at hand, right? So if I want to add the 8, it's plus the 8 is plus the 10 minus the 2. And then I go here, plus the 10 minus the 2. And then I go here, I just need to add the 2. And then I go here, I need to plus the 5. Did that make sense? Understandable? But yeah, you cannot do 8 and then 2 and then 8 and then 4. You can't do that. It has to go in sequential order. So the abacus only gives you the total. There's no way to recall the numbers in the operator. Exactly. You would have to keep a running total. You would have to keep a running total on a piece of paper. If you have more numbers, you have to start keeping a running total. Yes, and that's what's happened many times with my kids. Oh my God, Zero, I love your shoes. I have shoes. I have Zero shoes, and they're the best. I love them so much. Absolutely terrible for my memory. Yeah, it's not the greatest to do for the memory. So that's what I do is I would get my kids, we would have like 10 added. We would have 10 lines. And if they have 10 lines, what I would do is I would start tracking, I would start doing running totals. And depending on, where they end up, and just through practice, they can see the numbers. And then they start becoming more confident with the numbers that they do provide. But they do sometimes skip. And when they start skipping the numbers, then that's when they get the answers wrong. No, Zero is still just counting up. Zero is still counting on fingers. How does it correlate with the matrices? What matrices are you talking about, Understandable? Are you talking about like an addition table? Or are you talking about general math? Yeah, so something like this, right? The addition table. So in Abacus, it's really interesting. There's what we call simple formula, which means that whatever we have on our abacus, right, whatever is what we call simple. This doesn't have anything to do with, the formulas. Whereas this one right here, and then we're going to start seeing the pattern, has everything to do with adding the 5. This right here, this yellow, is what we do when we add a 10. When we add the 10, these are all the numbers to add the 10. Now the next one we do is we do a plus, we combine the two. Oh, when we combine the two. There we go. We combine the two. So that's what this is. That's why the white is. And it works exactly the same. It works exactly the same with the minus. Minus has the same pattern, which is really fascinating. So we have all of the plus 5, all of the adding of the 1, right? This is adding simple. This is the minus the 5. This is minus 5. This is minus 5. And then what? This is minus the 10. And then right here is where we get two-step equations. two-step equations. Yeah. So is that what you're talking about? Understandable? No, this is good too. Yeah. The only matrices that I can only think of would be something like a subtraction table. I don't know what other matrices are you talking about? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I was talking about no, I don't know about I don't know what pre-calc is. Like, I don't know the concepts of pre-calc. Yeah. So I have not gone towards that with Abacus. Maybe later when I have maybe later when I build out all of my worksheets, maybe I'll go into more algebra and more like how to do like interest rates and stuff, like finding the interest rates, because those are just bigger concepts. So the biggest thing is to understand, like, if I can add, subtract, and multiply and divide on, if I can do any of that, can I do it in this concept? So even when we're doing this, so this was the interest rate, determine the interest rate. So you could figure out but this is just the concept, right, is bigger than arithmetic. So we have to find the interest, right? If you're given the principal, then this is the total, right? And then you find your interest, and then you have this equation. Take the equation, and then you have to multiply it. After you multiply it, then you have to divide it, and then you can find your R. So that's what you could do, but I mean, it's such a torture to use, like the speeds of running with rocks. Oh, that's zero. You didn't know? Because zero now has no followers and no following. I'm not mad because you're calling my camera old. It's just you're distracting the class. Stop distracting the class, Zero. Stop distracting the class, Zero. So, I can mute you here and I can block you. It's up to you. Stop distracting the class. Understandable? Did that make sense? So it's a torture to use Abacus like the speed of running with rocks. Yeah. I understand advice, yes. Then leave. You know what? Just leave. If you don't care, then leave. You're distracting the class. Okay. So we're going back to here. So that's the one thing. Yeah. I mean, it is like running with what is it? It's like running with rocks, but it also depends on if you have a really solid foundation of Abacus. No, sorry. If you have a really solid foundation of numbers and number fluency, then the Abacus is not worth it, right? It's really depends on where you are, right? Why not? You make somebody a mod to stop that. It's okay. Cause they didn't mean no harm. Yeah, understandable. Does that make sense? Like, it is. I mean, if you have a very solid foundation of numbers, then you're good. Then there's really no need to do Abacus. But, I mean, I'm only here to teach those people that want to have a stronger foundation with math. That's all. Have you read Baddies on Working Memory? I have not. I will have to look at that. I was looking at the one called the something about mathematics, and I was like, oh, that's very interesting. And then I stopped. I didn't read it, but I will look into it. Badley and Hitch. Model of working memory. Working memory. Okay, so what's the difference between 13 beads and 7 beads? Just the amount of digits, that's all. Is the abacus the only kind of math that is 5 beads? No, there's another one that has a 10 bead. Hi, Isaac! Welcome, welcome. I see the 10 one for each column. Yeah, there's The 10 one is either Russian, Dutch, a Reck. It's a Kramer. No, not a Kramer. Right Start, and there's another one. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of others. There's a Target one, and then there's a IKEA one. Yeah. So the larger the numbers, pretty sure. Yeah. The 13 one is for the bigger numbers. 13 one I would use when we do division. I would go into the 13 column one because I need more room for the dividends and the divisor. That's how teacher feels when there's a knuckleheads getting in, always trying to learn. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But there was no harm. It was just they were distracting the class, that's all. It's okay. It's okay. There's no harm. Thank you, Vin, for the rose. Thank you so much for the rose. Yeah. Okay. So in division, both numbers are involved. I'm sorry. So in division, are both numbers involved in the operation visible simultaneously? Not the way I do it. I have my dividend and my quotient. My divisor is still on the piece of paper. That's not how I do it. I don't put the divisor here and the dividends here. I actually use my dividends to mark my excuse me. I put my dividends to mark my quotient, and so I know my place values. So when I do it, that's how I do it, and that makes me understand, because if there's a 0 in my quotient, I will see it. Always Abacus. Oh, Vivi. Yeah. It's just interesting. Like, yeah, I mean, it's Abacus is not end all, but it's majority, and it was looked at as if it was an enrichment, and I don't think it should be an enrichment. I don't think it should be. I don't think there should be any discrimination for people to learn Abacus, and so for those people that have a solid foundation of number fluency, they don't need to use the Abacus. There's no harm in that, because some people just have a better understanding with numbers than most. So there's no point of forcing a person to understand Abacus if they already have a solid foundation. So it's the most basic. It's great. Yeah, it's the most basic. It's the most manageable chunks. And in comparison to mainstream math, we don't in comparison with mainstream math, Abacus doesn't work with large numbers like 48 divided 48. How many times does 48 go into 742? You know what I mean? I disagree. I think it's useful to learn. It's different from Oh yeah, you're right. It is a different form of logic. I blame the decimal system. I don't think it's the decimal system to blame. I think it's the people who try to do long division. They didn't know how to break it up into smaller chunks. Yeah, because I think the decimal system is a very elegant system, and using the abacus just makes me appreciate the decimal system even more. Like, yeah. But I don't appreciate when we do long division, and I was researching. I had to do research on how other people do long division, because I know how I do long division with 3 digits. So when we do long division, when I do long division, let's see if I can find my long division. When I do long division, when we do 2 digits, Abacus breaks it up. Whereas in mainstream math, you take it together. But it's a different way of thinking. But thank you, Deceptive. I appreciate the compliment. But yeah, you're right. It is a different form of logic. And it's the same thing with those logic puzzles. There's all these puzzles, right? We have Sudoku, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, word searches, logical puzzles, which is a new thing. I didn't even know that even existed. And then there's a chess. And then I was trying to bring in abacus as that. I don't think it's a decimal system that's to blame. I think it's a Eurocentric thinking to blame when we do division. Thank you, Vivi, for the garland headpiece. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, okay. But this is great. I mean, I do enjoy. Oh, have a good night, Vivi. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I don't think it's a decimal system problem. I think it's the Eurocentric thinking, and they try to make it more complicated than it really is. Like adding and subtracting should not be as complicated as we go through. So, it is what it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So here's an example. It was so like crazy. What they do is they did in the video that I was looking at. What they do is they take 24 as a whole, and then they figure out, well, how many times can I do 24? And they do a whole multiplication on it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they got this, and I'm like, oh, okay. But in Abacus, we do it different. In Abacus, we take one first, and then we do the other. But that's another day. Oh, I don't know if Jeffers is still around. I was going to do some more adding, but that's okay. What's the life goal? I don't know what the life goal is. Here's another fun one: Sweller's cognitive load theory. Oh, that sounds very interesting. You know, I don't know if you were here for that, but I am reading the Simpsons and the mathematical something. I am reading that still. That's very fascinating. Keck. Okay. Sweller's cognitive load theory. Thank you. What does Keck mean? I don't know. I am fragile. I don't know what the life goal is. I'm still very new to this. Oh, I will sing a song. That's right. Oh, I did. There was one time this person gave me like, yep, and I sang it. I forget who it was. I think it was Katie. I think the name was. Anyways, way. It's like saying. Oh, it is. Way. Hey, Kaylor. Hey, Anisha. Welcome. How are you guys doing? Oh, I've been on for a little bit, so is there any questions? Oh, I see. Oh, like, yeah, I see. Keck. Funny. That's a new one for me. I see. I've never seen Keck, but I've seen Ya, and I never saw Hoo. Keck is Asian. Ah. What kind of Asian? Chinese or Korean? I've never seen that. Yeah, Ya is Spanish. What is Hoo? Hugh. Hugh is what? Oh, yay! I got all my family asked me to teach them. That's awesome! Anisha, that is awesome. A form of... Oh, I see. I don't recall. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, that's awesome, Anisha. And you were able to do it, right? Like you were making magic. Making magic. That is really good. Okay. So, I don't know if... Let's see. I was going through, and I was going to make more books. So, yeah, my mom said she used one. Oh, yeah! I taught them the base number. She used one when she was younger, and I taught them the base number. Oh, yeah! So, did your mother know this one? She says it makes sense. She said that makes sense. Addition and some subtraction. Oh, funny. It's so funny. Like I know people who knew abacus, but they never taught their kids. And I'm like, what? How come you don't teach your kids abacus? And they're like, oh, well, I didn't like it because it was hard and it was not fun. So I didn't want my kids to go through it. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that was the wrong teacher. Uh, yes, we'll do the basic one. Oh, we could do that one. We'll do this one. Let me see if I can find my this one. There we go. Yeah? Yeah, right? Like it's so crazy. I I guess the thing is they didn't know the benefits of abacus, and it's just interesting on how like they take it for granted. But yeah, some people that do it and then yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some people do it and they're like they take it for granted that everybody's going to know it, but they don't. We don't even teach it in abacus. We don't even teach abacus in school. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how to do a divisor and a dividend. That's what we're going to do for abacus. What are we doing? We're doing division now. So we're moving the class forward to division. This is a simple one. New math. So before I forget, new math, what they do is they talk about pick a number, any number, and then divide it. And I'm like, oh. And then they do subtraction stuff. So I was doing more research, and they said doing math like this, doing division like that, doing what they call it, partial quotient or partial quotient. They were talking about how partial quotient actually doesn't help with algebra because algebra does polynomials or something, and that's why we should continue to do long division. Abacus does long division. It is what it is. I don't know another way to do abacus division, but this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is understand we have our divisor and our dividend. We need to count our numbers. Isn't the new math the ridiculous new curriculum? I don't remember the name of it. The Common Core? No. New math is now different from Common Core. Yeah. New math is different from Common Core. They try to put in Common Core. Common Core is just trying to get a better understanding of math. I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is. Yeah, Common Core, that's it. Yeah. My kids did Common Core. I didn't have a problem with it because they knew abacus. They didn't have any questions, and I'm like, okay, great. Fantastic. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how many digits we have on our dividends. We have 1, 2, 3 digits on our dividends. So we have 3 minus 1. 1 is the divisor. Why are we doing this? We need to do this so we know where to put our answer. Our answer is going to be located in the second column. So what's going to happen is if I put my answer here, I'm going to use this as my ones, and I do this as my ones. So when I count it, it'll be 1, 2. So I'm over here. My quotient, it'll be over here. Let me move that. So my quotient would be over here. Let me put tape on it so I don't lose it. Okay? So my quotient's going to be here. I'm going to put my dividend on my abacus. So I put 1, 1, 2. Easy. So what's going to happen is I need to do a comparison. I have my chart. I need to ask who is bigger. 4 is my divisor. My 1. What we're doing is we compare apples to apples. We don't need to compare the whole number. We just need to compare one digit. Who is bigger, 1 or 4? We're going to do 1. No, 4 is bigger. So when we set it up, we do 4 times something is equal to 1. No, that doesn't make sense. So what's going to happen is we need to bring down the second digit to make it more understandable. Because 4 times, and nothing can go into 1 with a 4. But something can go into 11. 4 times what is equal to 11 or less? That's the question. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So I put 2 on my abacus. That's my quotient. I take away 8. Take away the 10 plus the 2. My final, no, I still have dividends. Now I have to compare again. 4 is my divisor. 3 is my dividend. 3 is my dividend. Who is bigger? 4 is bigger. So what's my question? I go back. 4 times something is equal to 3? No. 4 times 2, because this makes sense. We got to bring down the 2. 4 times what is equal to 32 or less? 4 times 8 is equal to 32. So I add my 8 and I take away 30 and then I take away 2. And my final answer is 28. 28. That's it. That is basic division. Basic. It's a process. And that's why I don't introduce it too much. It's the same thing as partial quotient. Natalie's mom. Can you do that again? Where do you see 8? Mine is blown. Can you can you sustainable of teaching third graders? Yes, it is. Have a good night, Understandable. Thank you so much for joining. Layla. Suitable for teaching third graders? Yeah, but you got to start from the beginning. Do they know how to put their jacket on and take their jacket off? We're doing division, right? So division is further up the chain. We have to start with adding and subtracting, and then we go into multiplication. After multiplication, when they understand their multiplication, then they can go into division. When do you start with division? Yes, my brain just says colors. I can't see the numbers. Here, here, here. Let me take a step back. Thank you for those people commenting. Yeah, right? When you get to it, it's obviously it's a gradual thing. It's a gradual thing. So we have 20 and we have 8. That's what we're doing. How do I know that that's 28? Because I have my 1s and my 10s. So for those of you that are just joining, what we're going to do is we're going to understand how to read the abacus. To read the abacus, we're going to know that every bottom bead is a value of 1. Every top bead is a value of 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10 looks very similar to 1 and a 0, just how we write the number 10. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50, 5, 0. Our 1s is right here. So what we're doing is what? We're understanding place value. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then we have 100. Does that make sense? Not the 13. I'm a teacher. We teach division in January. That's great. Of third grade. Yes, but in third grade, they know their multiplications, right? I see a little. Are you just going to teach them division? Or are you going to... They know their multiplication table, right? You can't teach them division unless they know their multiplication table. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't teach regular school. I teach abacus. I see a little. Yeah, that's okay. So when we're doing it, we're just trying to understand the way the beads look. So this is 11. And then we do 12, 13, and then 14. I learned multiplication first. That's great. That is great. Not everybody is blessed to learn their multiplication in grade 1. So when we're looking, that's what we do. That's what we have. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Layla is still here. And then thank you, Che and Anisha. Yeah. Yeah. Anisha, just so you know, I mean, it takes a little bit, but I usually start from adding, subtracting, and then we go into multiplication. And then after multiplication, because you have the system in your head, then it'll be easy to go into division. First, yeah. Right? I am fragile. Not everybody's blessed to be learning multiplication table at first grade. So, yeah. Okay. So, how are we doing? And school system is brutal. Oh, yeah. I cannot imagine. Okay. But yeah. So right now what I have is 14. And that's it. Okay. Other than that, Going down the rabbit hole. I am going to sign off. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for commenting. And yes, it makes sense. Yes. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's crazy on how simple it is. Let me go move it back. It's crazy how simple it is. Because what is it? What are we trying to do? It's just multiplication but reverse. Yeah. I mean, I added this part just to understand that we need to compare our numbers. But yeah. No, that scares me. No, no, it should not scare you. Take it one step. That's what I try to do. I was talking too fast. That's what it was. I was talking too fast, Fragile. So I was talking too fast. What we want to do is we want to compare 1 and 4. And then what do we do? Right? We do 4 times what is equal to 11. I'm done overthinking it. Yeah. I'm going to go to bed. Yeah. Division is fun. Division's really fun. But it's interesting because I like division when it zeroes out. I don't like it when there is a remainder. But yes, I'm going to abide by everybody's time, and thank you everybody for joining. Thank you again for commenting and being part of the group and learning more about Abacus. Thank you everybody for joining, and thank you all the gifts. Thank you everybody for the gifts. I do appreciate you. Thank you, Anisha. It's so exciting, Anisha. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you were able to teach the family. That's the hope. That's the hope, right? Like to educate and to educate the kids and stuff, and just to spread the good word of Abacus. The good word of Abacus. Have a good night, Anisha. Thank you again. Keep me updated. Keep me updated how you fare with it. I really do appreciate the feedback. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and I will see you guys all in my next live. Bye. Tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow night. Yes. Bye. Hey, Eve. Lurker. Have a good night, Eve.